All right. What are the things that happened previously?
Weather events, and you guys slowly building up on stuff.
Weather events. Alrex's
Some more out.
brother was found along
Down.
with the Duke's
Son.
nephew. Duke's nephew.
Hmm. And then the
And
I
Alrex's
mean the
uncle.
queen.
He was also there.
Yeah, yeah. And then there's like some other things and learn also quote unquote he may have some cousins.
What?
Remember he also has cousins.
I mean, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't think that's a part he learned about yet. Or I'm not
Yeah.
even sure if he
Not
was
yet.
told about his uncle being found yet, but he can learn about
Not
that
him.
if he ever comes across him.
Yeah. Not at the moment, but doesn't know they were found, but they were found, but they don't know they were found,
Yeah.
and don't know that he has cousins. And doesn't know that he also has an aunt. That's also people that he has a relationship with. That his uncle has. Wife. If you know what I mean.
It's a common law marriage, basically. You know what a common law marriage is?
Mm-hmm.
Common law marriage is basically you have lived together and been dating long enough to the point where legally you can be considered married. So, by common law marriage, my aunt would be married by common law marriage because she's been living and dating the same guy for the past like decade or 20 years, 2 decades. Also, again, more events keep interfering with Alric trying to go on dates with his maid, Nazetta.
A little bit, but it's where I put it, and that's the only place I put it because that's the place I put it. Because I don't want it over. But you're not supposed to put his food and water next to the fucking litter. And someone put it near there when I got home, and then like, why is that there? You're not supposed to put that there. Especially if he's a cat that kicks everything everywhere. He just wants to choose violence. He's just upset because he doesn't have food. Yeah. That was food.
Alright.
It just needs to be. It does need to be cleaned. That does. That can go in the dishwasher though. That thing can. I'm fine. The other tooth, he's still trying to swipe at you, isn't he? He just wants violence.
I approve. Let's go break some things.
I mean that. I need a new bag. Need a new bag though. getting distracted, but that's okay. As I eat a chocolate bread bun that's filled with chocolate. Yum nom nom. And no response from the one individual. Though he would be at the point where he could do something, but he's not here. But oh well.
Do you want to open up on Gilbo?
Well, at the moment, I guess I'll just say that someone's just not there, but they're doing something in the background, as in Eric.
Right.
Blood grab. And he's silent. Crickets. Stinky butthole. Anyways.
You'd be surprised.
When I want to start with him, with Ludra, he seems to be not there. Are we doing what the dog's doing instead, I guess?
Yeah, I guess. How much time would have passed?
Well, generally a time of has. I think about if I want to do a time, if there was a time skip of before someone arrived, it would just been a week of not anything exciting happening.
All right, another week.
Yeah. No. That place. Those are yes.
All right, so it's the Fist of Farda.
That's the cops. I'm also doing stuff. I don't like being disturbed after this time.
It is still pretty rainy.
Yeah,
and it's only going to get more rainy as it goes into the monsoon season, I guess.
Further into it. Near the end of it, it's supposed to have some interesting events.
Yeah, that would be near the autumn.
Yeah. This version of autumn. I think the autumn here would be a dry, but I might be wrong. If it does it correctly, it should be going into a after the rain, it starts to warm up. So things are to get drier, from my knowledge, because you are in an area where it's a little more, whatever it is, certain type of weather, where it's mostly supposed to be this. I'm done with that. Yeah. Okay. I'm fine. Okay. Okay. Here's my soda. Yeah. Okay. Murder. Anyways. Not actually nothing really exciting. It's just been very loud outside. That's what the problem is. Like normal.
It's just been
and Gilbo on the other hand.
Wet.
Gilbo on the other hand is just dry. And that's normal and that type of weather. And finally, actually no, they're having spring weather. they're having their proper rainy season, but that's about all they're having over there. At least they're getting rain over there now instead of those stupid dust storms. If you know what I mean.
Hmm.
And you're in a spot where it gets too much rain.
Certain seasons, yeah.
Turn into a drowned rain. Just this is like next. Send some magic message instead to somebody because he does typical cat is like no sends magic message to someone instead because he was like all right I need to communicate with them. They could deal with the fucking rain. I'm staying inside.
Wow, I can't believe he would do this to me.
What? If you need me to send any messages somewhere, I will do it for you. So, but I'll just have to send it magically. So he's nervous. He's willing to send messages, but he won't go outside. The comicalness of definitely a cat. Typical cat behavior. It's right outside. Fuck it. Fuck that shit. Meanwhile, the place is just casually organized. At this point, I think majority of the one place you were trying to put the capital has an infrastructure over there now properly. I think at the location.
It was only it hasn't been that long. He probably hasn't even. He hasn't probably isn't sent anyone out there to do
Yeah,
anything
but
over there yet.
well, it wouldn't take them very long to do it because remember, you have popping spirits. They don't sleep.
Yeah,
They don't eat
he's
food.
still working some things out with it. He also wants to stop by there at some point.
But they do have the area marked out what they want to do something with.
So
I think the
he's
first
going
only thing I
to
think
go
only thing
find.
I think the only thing they did over there is maybe put a dock.
He's going to go find James.
Would be somewhere within the house, the place you're using as a structure temporarily every time you summon it.
Oh, well, he's just been keeping it summoned. He's just
Yeah,
been expanding a spell slot every single day to keep it up.
yeah.
Probably
So he's been
since
resizing
he
them.
doesn't have to use any magic now, he's probably using a couple extra of his spell slots to make it um bigger, taller, more floors. Probably has like I don't know how many spell slots does he have total.
Not very much, I think. Whatever the level you would have related to, because remember I gave you more than normal, because I know you
Yeah.
don't usually have that many.
So I guess yeah,
As a
he's using he's using his fourth level spell slot to do it. So it
to
should be
make it.
4 floors.
Hmm. And it's a semi-permanent structure after a while, right?
Yeah. So after I think pretty sure I need to look at it. Actually, there's a better way of doing this.
Booty cheeks. You're fat and chunky. Kitty cat. Wayne.
All right. Okay, so it doesn't say on that one.
Eh.
I'm going to go to the actual site for it then.
Yeah, but I generally says it generally would actually be more permanent after a while. But eh. If it has something enough
You can create a permanent
time,
tower by casting the spell in the same location with the same configurations every day for 1 year. And he's been doing that. I guess
if
it's been. I
it
guess he's
hasn't been a
been
year
doing it
yet.
for a month at this point.
Yeah, he's just at the constantly cast that. So that's fine. I mean, he's gonna eventually would. Eh. Hey, it's nothing wrong having a structure. This is not a bad structure. Convenient. Anyways,
Oh boy. Yeah.
meanwhile over you are is just having casual rain because at least it's not dry and wanting to blow sand in your face.
Yay, we have a road. Hmm.
Rain,
I
not
know,
rain.
but I know, but by now I think we also have a road through the
Yeah,
desert.
they have a road. Yeah, you have a road over to where you guys are. But knowing
Finally.
anything, there's actually, I think, a petition to ask if they could have a road going to somewhere to him. But I think but the weather is making it um, a little difficult. But they did,
Let me
now I
get
remember.
a little difficult. Let me get a little difficult to deliver said petition because of the weather.
Uh, like I said, now I remember why I stopped at this point because uh, they would have gotten a message from because they have a messenger person that he would be able to send back and forth. And Ernest would make a comment. They're wondering if we want to have a road linked up to the location.
It's saying this to Alex, right?
Yeah, Ernest.
Linked up to where?
Well, to whatever your central town area is.
Oh.
You won't have. It won't cost you anything. It's a free road to the location. It's going to be a easier. It's going to be made of the
Well,
special crystal that's super durable.
yeah. I mean, there's already a couple of roads he has already. There's
This one
there's
will be connecting to the pretty much be a highway like type road
yeah.
like structure.
I guess he'll plan out a a route and he'll do that for the day. Just kind of look at
As
surveying maps that have been brought to him of the area, and then just plan out a route. Because there's going to be like 2 bridges built. Actually, you could probably use a bridge that's already in use, but I'm not sure if that would feel like that would uh
if it's not wide enough, they could make it wider for you without
it might, yeah, you'll plan out a
costing you
route.
any.
There's going to have to be 2 bridges that go across this river here. There's only one that's
Because
further.
this is going to be one of the. It's those big. It's supposed to be a decently artery road is what it's supposed to be. So, but the road he's referring to isn't a normal one. Because if you know anything about a standard highway road looks like,
Mhm.
but sadly, I don't think Alex knows what that is. Because he thinks it's just going to be a normal standard road, but just made of the crystalline stuff.
No, yeah, he's just gonna do that for the day, planning out the route.
But he doesn't realize it's going to be it's going to be a very thick road. It's going to be very wide, but has areas where it if they know there's gonna be places where it's gonna branch off to, it'll have little spots where it can be branched off of. You know where the other towns are, but along the way.
Hmm.
But he will have to have
And there's gonna
individuals
be a
have
lot of
that for it.
towns probably that are just gonna pop eventually, but they're not gonna be mapped out because they'll probably be too small for a notice.
Yeah, but anywhere that's big enough to have that happen will have a thing connected to. But at the moment, it's just going to be connecting, working on gradually connecting it to. I guess your very first, but it would be this, the one central one that you started in, is where it needs to go to. Is what I was referring to. I think you're on this
Yes.
map, right?
Yeah, I'm on the map.
Yeah. You're on the proper map. Okay.
I'll be able to
Yeah, you're on the
see.
proper map.
I mean, if you look, I'm sure you can probably look at the, if you're able to look at the map I have on, I sent you.
I know you have the upgraded one with everything, more stuff on it.
Yeah.
But I
There's a
didn't
town
upload it.
there. There's a.
Generally, there. You can always put marks on this temporarily where the
Yeah.
towns are.
I have the map
Yeah.
as an image for a stream.
Yeah, but I don't have it.
I send it to your DMs.
I don't have it on the roll
Okay.
20.
I know that. I know that. But I'm telling you if you want to look at it. But if you can't, then that's why I'm also doing this.
I can look at it if I want to, but I can't have draw on it. Because if I try uploading it, it's going to be a pain in the arse. So you have to use what we have
there's
temporarily.
a town there.
If you're wondering if someone's going to go through the mountainous areas, then more likely you don't have to worry about that there. You're not going to be in charge of the tunneling or in any of the. You're not in charge of the tunnelings. You're not in charge of anything. They're just building a road to you. You just ask if you want one built to you. Is all.
Also, a town.
That's the question. If you want a primary road built to you.
Yeah, he's gonna plan out the route for the road.
I know, but it's a let you know this road is about 100. How wide is a standard highway road?
American or European?
American.
Look at those things are pretty wide because those things need to hold, be able to handle our big ass USVs and shit. How many lanes?
I think there are 3 on both sides, equivalents.
All right.
Even though you won't.
That's a 6-lane highway.
Yes, this is a primary artery lane for a reason. For increase and also having this makes it a lot easier to go through places without trudging through the fucking mud. If you get the idea.
All right.
That's why
So
it's there.
the length of the standard highway. All right, yeah, the standard length for one lane in the U.S. recommended by Department of Transportation and stuff is 12 feet for one lane.
Okay.
So that's 12 times 6. So that's 72 feet wide.
So if you want to round that out, if you want to be in D&D standards, it would be about 75.
No, he's like, I'm not gonna round that up. We don't really need 72 or something, 75 length highways here.
But there's a reason why this is going to be that size for time being. Because It's not because of them, it's because of something else. Reason why they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, because there's a project that they're working on, and that's kind of related to something called Relations to. Somebody is offering to provide certain transport vehicles for certain resources, and that's why they're making the roads.
That. So I'm not sure if you can see the other blue X's further west. Those are where checkpoints. This one over here in the mountains, closer to the east, before you get to the town. That one is. I guess I'll make red X's checkpoints or towers. There. And there's also one. I thought there was one over here in the mountains. Closer. Alright, and then the blue X's are towns.
Because he's the other thing about this situation is there's going to be a
Also, yeah. There's oops.
a thing. There's going to be transport vehicles that would be actually coming along to and being able to make it easier to transfer shared resources.
There's also a
instead
mining
of
town up
going into-
there. Over the
Mhm.
mountains. Because that was the area. I was like, there was a big old meteoroid that landed down over there. Go check that out. Yeah. That's all I imagine they said it. I'm pretty sure that Ernest said it, so that's why I imagine Ernest said it. And they rode off in the sunset on a horse.
Or whatever random creature they had.
Yeah.
Anyways. Well, it would be nice to have vehicles that can off-terrain vehicles that would be able to handle certain things. But having some creatures would be able to be fine too. But it's why they're going to be given easier transport vehicles to move between places, just for convoy vehicles that can carry heavy loads of resources between places. That's what it is. It's just one and like offering what basic raw resources they're going to be trading. Because remember, it's a peace treaty and trade. Remember, that's the thing. Deal with the king, and that's why the brood is going there. Is just make it easier to transport stuff between locations. Is why. And so, it's since Gilbo left, she's not part of that. So somebody gets to have trade. He's like, she left, so like, nope, I guess you're the only one who gets to have trade.
I mean, she'd still be willing to open trade with the king. It's just.
Yeah, but she left before he was able to talk to you. So you kind of screwed yourself over on that.
I mean, she does plan to go and talk to the king eventually.
Yeah, you would have to go back. Because he is not sending a person to talk to you if it's in a region that he does not or didn't originally own. So he is completely ignoring her. He's like, nope, well, she left, and she's not my problem anymore. If she really wants anything, she will have to fucking come back.
And she's like, no, we need the resources, more resources. And, we get more resources, we trade the shit we don't want for shit that we do want. That's how the economy works.
At the moment, we barely have anything. We barely have any infrastructure to start making trade stuff. And at least we slowly are making the proper weather report stuff. We're working better at the moment. But let's see, what else?
Quick! Wait, I've got an idea. Why don't we start making beautiful, ornately carved pots? We can trade those.
Make statues in your own image.
And she's like, I swear, a phantom is trying to talk to my own ego, but I won't listen.
You want to make sculptures in your own image.
It's like later when we're not struggling to not die over trying to get a loaf of bread. Building a statue now does not accomplish anything unless I can sell them, and we know nobody's gonna buy that shit.
I would.
He would. He's like,
meanwhile, on the other side of the water.
He's like, meanwhile, someone chisel a statue of me. I shall pose on this rock.
What rocks? It's mostly a savanna.
Is it fine? This pile of mud I have sculpted.
And also it's raining. Well, at least it's not raining as hard as it is over there. Well,
at least it's not acid rain. So if chiseling out stone, it might actually make chiseling it easier.
At least it's not. You could be having dust storms instead.
I guess Gilbert's just posing for a statue. But it's only because the statue can be traded for other things.
But at the moment, nothing is actually generally exciting today, other than the weather being a bit soggy.
Well, it's spring for the world, right?
Generally.
Okay.
Spring for the world.
Well, that part of the world, at least. Because because there's different parts of the place where it has the opposite, just like Earth does. Because it's big enough to do that.
He is in the... Actually, he's on the equator, which... I'm thinking about how that would affect the weather, because the hottest place, warmest places, would be the equivalent of the Tropic of Cancer for this world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whether this is interesting. That's why I said when we get closer to the sun, it's gonna get fucking dry as fuck here in that same location.
Yeah.
But we haven't gotten to that point.
Which is why this here is mostly, for the most part, just like field.
Mm-hmm. And then the other side has its own things too. But that's just...
Yeah, here over the winds come in, and despite the fact it's hot, it's still making days nice.
But as of right now, it's just wanting to be wet. You're dealing with the wet before you get the dry.
Neat.
Or gradually milder weather, then it becomes the hot. That's what it's supposed to do. Is it's supposed to mellow out, then from the rain, then it becomes dry. That's what it's supposed to do. If not, then if it doesn't say that on the calendar, but it does what the hell it wants, I'm sorry in advance, because I can't control what the random generated weather.
I mean, there is a way to do weather. I mean, I have the weather set in a certain way. Which I think for like a monsoon
I know.
season, like how much percentage of chance on a day-to-day basis? Just thinking like, it doesn't want to be raining every day, but should be raining quite a bit. So like, I said like maybe 65% for spring, and then monsoon season maybe up to
Majority of
70%.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot drier in the summer. More mid-summer should be very dry, and slowly starting getting wet again. In the it should be wet in the other wetter and cooler in the fall and winter, if you know what I mean. But not that much cooler though. But summer is supposed to be hot and dry.
All right, so
generally.
that means we're leaving the rainy season then, because then the spring's
Yeah,
heading
correct.
to summer.
Yep.
Okay,
Eventually, it's supposed to.
so
Once the season ends, it's a interesting event is supposed to happen, which is
so summer season, no rain
it's supposed
or a little rain.
it's supposed to be dry, a little tiny bit of rain.
All right,
Not
I'll put it
often,
at
but
like
it does occur.
10% maybe.
Hence rain.
I think if it's summer, it doesn't rain very often. It means that when it does rain, it rains intensely. When it rains in the summer, it rains.
At a risk of flooding randomly.
It's like, what a
But it
nice
doesn't-
day for the what a pleasant day for the beach.
And suddenly,
then suddenly,
flood.
wait, I just realized I can't swim.
The predictable weather, but suddenly, Jovo, when they get to the dry season, it's going to be just dry season. And wonderful, and just dry and hot. Anyways,
At least they won't be choking on
You
some sand.
well, dust and have a high chance of fire. Anyways, because it is a savanna, or it's the fire season. Or it's the dry season for them is actually the fire season, because remember it's a savanna,
All right.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, have a high chance of that happening over there. At least you're still somewhat damp where you are. It's not completely dry, but it's dry. That's why it's not 100% dry, but it's dry enough where it's going to be an issue. So, because it's a little more damp where you are versus over there. The dry-ish grassland, where it's quote-unquote the savannah.
Mm-hmm.
Where everything could casually, and also they can have dry thunderstorms over there. And then thunder lightning hits the ground and lights everything on fire. It's great! Wonderful, lovely time of the year for that. Anyways, sorry I had to make that comment because it's funny. You only have this weird, funny, out of the blue baby rain, and that's fun. And also, if you feel like it had to go to the lake and go dip in the water, it's getting kind of toasty. Oh my God! Why is there so many mosquitoes? You get that joke.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's going to be your problem.
Mosquitoes? Oh, yeah, because we kind of are in like Brazil. Fuck.
like someone's also been kind of plotting something. They're like making sure he has like a stockpile of something, but it doesn't affect activity. But they notice they have a lot of dried berries and novel berries in a certain location for a reason. And if he knows what those do, both of those kind of helps you to fight against diseases. He's like preparing for those, Erna says, even though he could just make it go away, but no. Nope, he's just preparing. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the next season's going to be kind of a disaster. Because stagnant water equals mosquitoes. And you're a fuzzy fat rat cat. Why do you keep biting me? Okay. The kitty's being kitty. So generally, that's what that chaos is. Just generally nothing exciting, other than he's just gonna eventually get a road and special vehicles that can go on that road to make it easier to transport trade resources. It's pretty much what that road's for. Once they have something, but it'll still take a while for it to get to you because you are in an area where you have to go through a fucking hills to get to where they are.
Yeah, there's those slight hills.
Yeah, because they're just gonna shape it a certain way.
Yeah, it's not.
There.
It's not. Just, if that's like Appalachia kind of region, it's not gonna be very easy to get through those hills, even if they're like small like hills. Even rolling hills can be a little pain to get through.
Hey, that's why it's gonna be a while before you see it, anyways. Road.
I think you should also, if there's any towns in the mountains here, like have like a D, I don't know, some like D10,000 or D1000, something like that, and whenever it's like a Nat 1 rolls, there's like a landslide that happens somewhere in there.
Yeah,
during the monsoon season. During the monsoon season.
Yeah, that can happen. Actually, I've been kind of casually maybe doing that because it is that season.
Oh no.
But nothing happened so far. But a slide did happen, but it's not in an area where you have to worry about it.
All right.
It was on the other side of the mountain, on another area.
Monsoon season. Yeah, my monsoon season thing here. There is a week straight of rain.
Yep. For the next week. Am I correct?
No. It's further. It's like it's at the end of the year. End of this year. That's because the monsoon season leads into the next year.
Happy New Year. Yes.
Happy New Year. Your house is gone.
I get some alcohol. Like, someone made some alcohol, but hope you don't mind. It tastes slightly like lemonade.
All right. So Alrex is gonna go try to find.
We also found a way to make it bubbly, so we kind of very much like a unintentionally, we have pretty much everyone have a like some hard lemonade champagne. Unintention. As they can't turn anything else into alcohol because it's a disaster. Because they don't have grapes.
Mm-hmm.
They only have the normal berry. That's the only thing they have to turn into alcohol. Or honey. Or they can make mead. They found a source of these. So, if you don't want this, you can always have some mead instead. That's all he has. Because it's almost at the end of the year. Just slowly making alcohol to celebrate. They're also making they also made what is it called? They also made festival making a whole bunch of pastries for the entire week. If you're
Huh?
wondering. Yeah.
When it's like, well, let me check the weather. So messing with my weather a bit. Yeah,
You know,
well, it should be the
even though
next
they
day
have
now. It's a
they
bit,
have
yeah, right now it's
yeah,
gonna be
but they
foggy
have
for the next couple of days, cloudy, overcast, overcast, overcast.
yeah, but it's still gonna be they have inside areas, so you can't go outside. You can
Yeah.
always enjoy your pastry inside. It's raining. If you know what I mean, right?
Hmm.
So this is preparing for the end of the year goodies, or just people just want pastries. Because they found, well, because they're just using, making areas to grow certain things just they can,
I think I got it in
you don't,
a good weather and set in a good way. The end of the year, when it's the monsoon season, it's like straight rain for like a month, nearly. Maybe like a
Mhm.
week of rain, and then like a day break before going back into another
Really.
couple of days of rain. Not surprising. There's 2 sunny days here forecasted for the end of the year.
I'm surprised that your phone, oh yeah, I forgot I fixed your phone where it has service.
Huh?
Comment through your
Oh,
phone
I didn't,
somehow.
I didn't really know that the app could predict such far future weather.
Hmm. You could smell they're making the festival bread.
Yes, I kind of smell it. I am. But they're
Mhm.
making cake too.
Mhm. It's at the actual bakery area. If you want to get rained on, you have to go inside though. I think it's a little crowded though. That's why I've brought you one of each they have made. But I didn't know what jam you wanted on it, so I just bought you a jar of jam each.
Thank you.
And also, I think we have some whipped cream, or I can just make it.
Was it another week that went by after getting
Generally,
noticed? All
you're
right.
gonna notice that you're gonna be getting a
All
road
right.
eventually, and maybe
So
some
it
wet items
is
or something for trade.
not raining.
Easier trade.
It is, yeah. It's actually not raining today. It's cloudy, mostly cloudy, and hot.
Nothing exciting. Yeah, nothing exciting is happening at the moment either.
It
Other
is
than it seems like
a cool 88.1 degrees Fahrenheit today, with a light breeze of a wind going at a 4 to 7 miles per hour.
this is interesting.
If you want to know where to do
Just
the weather stuff, it's under
weather.
locations.
I know. It's just I can't get the weather to behave itself
Yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes you have to save it and then reload the site, and that sometimes fixes it to what the settings you just said.
That's why I kind of don't mess with it. I'm just saying that generally the weather is supposed to be related to that sort of weather in that region. But you get the idea. It's supposed
Hmm.
to have the weather is supposed to have a wet season, 2 mild like seasons, then a dry season. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to have in that region. If you get my drift, that's what it's supposed to do. If you know what I mean. One season's supposed to be a monsoon, and one is supposed to be, 2 of them are supposed to be mild, and one is supposed to be dry.
He's going to go find James. He needed to go talk to him. And I guess
Huh?
he's been distracted this week, so he hasn't been able to go talk to him, I guess. James?
Yeah?
You aren't busy doing anything, right?
No, not really.
Alright.
Rather was a chaos.
Not that I needed, not, well, yes, I'm offering you a new position. The position of the treasury officer for
Sure.
Inoka.
Because I already know that we kind of you are the leader's location,
Yes.
but I know already passively doing. Even though we don't have funds, but been
Well,
finding.
I'm
Been
pretty sure
finding.
it expands to
Well, we've been
trade,
finding.
right?
We found a geode.
I don't know the ins and outs of governmental side of things.
You know the trade. The trade stuff, that financial
Yes,
thing that we need to
I am
maintain.
more would have had to do that. Would treasury also include? Well, I guess
Finances?
the only thing you could do is monitor the transaction of trade. Ooh, sorry. They gave me a lemonade earlier.
That's what I'm good. Well, you mean the sparkling
Yes, the sparkling lemonade.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Especially
It is indeed pretty good.
Maybe we don't have grape for wine.
Do we have grapes here in the area?
No, it's too humid for them. We would have to trade for it. Anyways, but we also that road that you agreed to have that might help make it easier to do trade once it gets here. And also, I heard they're going to be giving us a trade wagon in the process for free, part of it as well, make it easier to use it.
Don't say.
That was part of the deal, because I read your little thing that. So we will be getting a trade wagon alongside the road. They'll be giving us as a gift to make it easier to transverse over that. And also, you won't have to worry about feeding the animals. You know the thing that quote unquote Bellet kind of has?
What?
We were given one of those things.
Ah, yes, one of those things.
One of those transport vehicles that can go in on any terrain. But we have gotten typically a trade variant that's a little bit bigger that has more spots to put things that isn't meant to transfer people but more meant to transfer stuff.
Alright.
Is the version that we have gotten, from my knowledge, from other messages that I think is it's meant to, because like, since you didn't have quote unquote a financial individual other than myself, I just read it or like you just get that anyways. Is aware that we'll be getting a construct pulled wagon is what it is.
A construct pulled wagon.
That's what that is. To make it easier to transfer items between places or places that have no road.
Alright.
And also has the ability to, also has, from my knowledge, it has the ability to shift its wheels into something to be able to go on water as well. So it's also kind of a boat at the same time. It's almost a completely, almost all-terrain vehicle. The only thing it can't do is fly. Hey, it's convenient if you want to move stuff around between places, though.
That's all I would need.
Yeah, it'll be just wait. It'll be here when it'll be here when we have the road, which I have no idea how long that's going to take. Because we have a lot of hill and mountain that's over that direction. But that's okay. At least we can just prepare what we can think about what dried fruit and things that we can maybe send over there. Because we have a lot of stuff that I don't think they have.
Hmm.
And also, I noticed topaz is very common in this area.
Topaz, what would topaz be able to be used for? I would have to know that.
Typically, the yellow one is used for rune making, for
Alright.
power.
Well, I guess,
We
set up,
don't really need the other ones for anything.
I guess you can set up
But-
a mine somewhere for it.
Well, we've been finding those geodes around, but I think we might, if there is anything, there might be stuff. If we can find a way to get into a cave area around where it's down Roserite, chunk in the side of the mountain over there. I bet
Well,
there's a
yes,
deal.
I
Wait.
was told that there was a big roserite chunk in the mountain up there. I sent some people up there to go start something.
And also maybe in that same area, we could also maybe get gems from there too, because it seemed like they. And then there's the small one that you made nearby, which does have some stuff there. It's a good source of coal, and then also I think it has. I also learned that it also has the, Loganite. Remember, it's this stuff that's like iron, but it's white, but it some reason changes color to a pink color when it reacts to being slightly warm. But it has the same. Granted, it's magic iron. You get the idea. It's iron that has a +1 effect, if you want to know.
Alright,
Cat box.
alright.
That's what it is. That's pretty much what it is. Then if you turn it into a steel version of itself, it becomes a +2 magic material. Even though it becomes a salmon blue color. But you get the idea, even if you don't care about the color, you realize that's a decent metal, if you think about it, magic-wise. So it actually does 2 more damage more than your standard steel. Because usually steel only increases the point of damage by 1. Because since it has +2 of magic damage, it kind of does 3 more points more damage than the standard iron one. If you get the idea.
Alright.
If you get what I mean out of character cat box.
I
So.
think so.
Yeah. This is about because it does more damage. For basically what you have, it's actually not that bad. But Roserite's still better in a way. But having, because you can't, as it's just processing it, they do have a way to process the Roserite. It's just mostly they've been using it, combining it with their crystal stuff, which is just the iron, the Loganite stuff could also be used as a trade thing, but also still having it is just because it is a useful material for basic things that you need to make a lot of, such as simple things like you don't need to use for mining, like silverware and that stuff out of. It won't be silver, it will be white in color, but that's okay. And I think the only other material in this area, I think metal-wise, is leuconite, which is literally silver. But if it was, what is it? I think a blue. If it was if it was more white with a hint of a silverish color to it. If you wanted to know, instead of what silver looks like normally, which
Okay.
generally is silver. That's what the other material is, which is the area where we're getting the locanite from. So we have something we can turn into a coin.
I guess we might do that.
That's what it's referring to, because they have enough of it to show. At the moment, they're just shaping them into ingots, and that's about all they're doing with it. Because the more likely using the loganite into stuff there is more likely because the I think that's about all of what I think, and also the resources they have resurrected. They have found other resources over there, but so far it's mostly been that and blobs of and geodes with topaz inside of it, and they're trying to find a way if there's like a cave area to go in, or they have to make a hole. You get the idea.
Whose hole?
Which won't be hard.
Whose hole we making?
As in mining, as in digging out a hole. There, it's make a mine.
I thought we were putting
Over
a hole
there.
in someone.
It's generally it's mostly areas we have. So we don't have a use for most of these topaz, but the podlingers kind of can make have found one thing about the podling spears though, they kind of make gemstones kind of not valuable after a while. I keep on forgetting that. They have ability to make something called gem seeds, which can grow more gems. That's why I was kind of wanting to go the coin route, because they can't can't make those that into gems. Seeds, making that into seeds. And so that's why gemstones might not be worth that much. But if you remember, gemstones were abnormally common before. If you remember, over in Claudia when we were back on the One World, Alex.
Yeah.
Remember? That is why. Is because they can grow it like a crop. The podling spears can. Gemstones. And jewels in general. So
Alright,
that's
so
why I was going to.
gems not rare.
Yeah, they'll eventually be not rare. That's why they're more useful as used for utility, or if and hey, if you ever want to have comically make something look like it's gem crested, you can get it crested in gems, but it won't make it more valuable eventually. Anyways, let's see. At the moment, that's why metal will be worth more than actually, quote unquote, the gems. Let's see. It's right. That's why I'm just wondering the coin design that you want to do. That's what my thing. And unless we want to do one coin, or do you want to do more than one type of coin?
Is that what? Oh, so that's what.
That's what
James
is asking.
I'll probably do multiple coins. Yes. At least probably.
Yeah.
Probably
Remember, we all
2.
well, at the moment, right now, only resources I think you can maybe turn into coins that makes sense to turn into coins. Is the as we have obviously the Lupinite can be turned into a coin. And the other, and then there's a obviously the other coin that would be kind of worth a lot more than the other one would be using something that's made of roserite, but that's about it. Because those are our most valuable stuff we have.
I guess I
Because
can.
look,
What do we want to
that's why
use roserite for the base coin? How rare is it?
it's actually supposed to be vaguely decent rare. We just got really lucky with that chunk of metal, a chunk of it in that mountain. Usually it's deeper underground.
So not very good. Maybe a good idea for something like a platinum for one of our higher. If we need a coin for large transactions, that'd be something to use. Something for only like ruling class type things or big trade deals.
Generally, that would be, I think, make sense because it would be equivalent of a platinum piece. But the silver piece would be you know what silver is? It's like the piece just above copper. That's what the lupinite would be similar to. We don't have a copper or anything else.
So we can use the lupinite
for a base coin at the moment. I bet there's other stuff I bet we fund more ship once we figure out what they find at the point.
For now, I guess if this for now, for get the blacksmiths or set up a inside. I guess yes. For now, set up a minting inside the walled off area for socks.
I think they should just. I at the moment I think the material at the moment we have black roserite at the moment.
Is that more common?
I don't know. I don't know what's more common and what's rarer out of the colors.
All right, hold off on that. Then.
I have seen. So, it's best to manage money whenever I'm out of reach, and that would be a hidden question, huh? Ernest is this casually this chilling as his cat form on his shoulders, huh? The ratio of of the materials on this thing, I think, is matters by how far away. Let me. I'm not gonna. Oh, actually, silver roserite and black roserite is actually more common. The one that's usually, I think, recommended to be a coin is actually the blue one. But we haven't found any. But having the black one as a coin would actually work too. Because it would be easier to make it into coins. It is a little more common, but it's still kind of, it is more common of them, but it's still classified as a rare metal. If you know what I mean. That's what Ernest says to the two of them. But it is more common. Out of them is the black and silver. Roserite. But since you have the black at the moment, it's all you have option to have is that color. Which black roserite it's a shiny metal but has a pink sheen. That's pretty much what black roserite is. So it looks abnormally menacing looking. Anyways, with a slight pink sheen to it. But it's baby blue if you're wondering what the blue roserite is. And the rarest color is actually the one that got a reason why it got its name, which is actually red.
Black. What's red? Blood roserite. Red.
Yeah, red roserite.
Oh,
It's rose red.
well, I guess that shouldn't be too
Is actually the
surprised.
rarest. Yes, it was also the first one found, but some reason then
That is some luck.
yep, there's this reason why I got its name because of the red version of it. The second rarest is actually the purple. And followed by the pink one. In other words, the more feminine colors are actually rarer. Then it follows by then it goes to the blue and green, then gold, then white is the kind of like in the middle. Then it goes back. Then we have the silver and black. And then there's a color that I do know that I don't know where it sits, but there's a orange colored one. Roserite as well. But it's somewhere in that mix. We don't know if it's going to be common, more common or rare. It's somewhere in there. Somewhere, but you'll find something. And I also the black roserite's actually more interesting as a coin.
All right, I guess we'll do that.
You can do. Let's see what else. I actually do know we will also be getting resources soon from over there, and they did find another metal.
Oh.
It's what is it called? It's called Zorolite. It's the pretty much zinc equivalent. Pretty much a magic zinc. It lets you know. Which you could use that as a coin. I know it's squishy, but still, you can still use it as a coin.
Well, that's one way of finding out if it's real. It's just, like that. Just like bend it with your mouth.
And then only other resource material that has also been found in the area, we have found a blue metal that is, I seem to be known as Multonite, which is the copper equivalent.
Now
Found it by accident by tripping over it.
For now, we can stick with the black roserite.
We just haven't found our gold equivalent yet. And I think I know what it looks like. It's actually red. It's called Razorite. As in, like as in raspberry.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a dull ruby color. Or I would say it's more closer to actually the color of blood. Anyways. But it's somewhere. It's going to be interesting to figure out where it is. But I think it's because in our region, I just realized that reason why we might have a hard time finding it is it might occur specifically in very particular biomes.
Mm.
And I know where that is, but you're not in that region. It's also someone isn't in the region that would be either. It would be somewhere else. It would be more for. I know where that is. I'll worry about that later. We might need to, once that road there, we might need to implement trade to quote unquote interact with the dwarves if we want the red metal that's equivalent to gold. is it seems to only occur in that weird mountain area where they are. You know the region where the dwarves are.
Well,
The mountain dwarves are.
there is the additional land granted to me by the by King Sox of Bestia.
Podium.
Yeah, King of Paldia. Was there any sorts of things there? We can get someone out there to survey it.
Yeah, but we have that mountain area near us. I bet there is some in there, but we would have to go on this side of the desert.
That's fine with me.
It's the more in the rocky side of it.
Might be able to grow some grapes there. You said you needed some grapes for some certain wine, right?
Yeah, but that's a dry area. But let's see. We need a temperate region.
Well, that's not gonna get that here.
Yeah, but the other side, on the other side of the mountain, where we need to get our razorites, it's desert, which is not any better. So it's almost like we need to trade with a certain individual you don't want to trade with across the ocean.
I don't even know who's across the ocean.
That direction, on the other side from where we are, across, there's two. Actually, if I think about it, I'd rather deal with the ponies than your old man.
I think on the map, I'm thinking on the map that we were looking at when you were marking it up that his dad was on the northern side of that land, wasn't he?
Yeah, Minerva was dealing with the queen on this side, but he'd rather not deal with that country altogether. He's like, man, I'd rather trade with the ponies. Fuck your dad in that country altogether. I'd rather trade with the horses. Oh, at least they'll have apples.
Oh, what about my dad?
Nothing against your old man. I just that's a weird thing going on over there.
All right.
Let you know.
Alec would not press it. He just thinks, oh, I guess he's getting the business back up and running. That's good. Not knowing he secretly founded a country. And they implemented him against his will to be the ruler.
And also, the country might be kind of divided in half because what he did, which is causing interesting problems.
Well, two countries were founded. There was one. I guess the country that was founded by the other faction of the family would be Welska.
Mm-hmm.
They're naming it after themselves.
Don't worry about it too much. It's just no conflict will happen right now because no one has properly founded areas yet. It's just slow, and we won't hear about a problem yet till a bit, because his places hasn't gotten big enough to cause a conflict yet. And more likely, that will be the first place that will more likely be a conflict.
Yeah, and. I guess one where his dad was put in charge would be the Republic of Cheskia.
And but so this is going to be
Republic.
So this is
they probably would just end up voting in Alric's sister if anything happens to his dad.
Yeah, but this at the moment there's a slight issue, but the Fessians, on the other hand, if they know that the country is dividing over there, it's just has to show. All he said is, brother could be part of that mess, or he could just hang out with the Fessians.
As soon as he finds out where his dad is, him and his uncle and the remaining surviving maids would go over there.
I know,
so
but
if something happens to his dad before Leewood can get back, then his sister will be put in charge. But if he's back before then, then if something happens, he'll be put in charge.
I know, but what's his face? Other hand is just wondering what to do in the situation because he wants to be kind of there, but he knows that there's going to be a slight issue because it's at the moment it's just she has nothing the problem with Aurora. You know, where it's the queen of the Arcadians. But at the moment, like,
Thing is,
yeah,
if the queen tries to come in and do anything with them, then both would be like, hey, let's put or things aside, and then take out the
yeah,
queen, like take care of them over there first, and then we'll go back to fighting each other.
There's just this problem here is the agreement. If you want to, because at the moment they haven't. Because if they want to make a relation, is at the moment there is no peace treaties except one. Is the one that has out of all of them has. There's only 2 of them that has been made. The ones with the dwarves and with your made little country. With the podling spears, the primary podling spears.
Yeah, so
far.
if the queen tries to come in and do anything, it's basically like that meme where these 2 people are arguing and a third guy comes in and they both look at them and was like, shut the fuck up. All right. And then they just, fight them and then they go back to fighting.
It's like these 2 children arguing with each other and it's like.
And then a third child comes in and says something stupid and I'm like, all right, buddy. And they gang up on them. Then they go back to fighting.
But then there's the random adult comes over, like, what the fuck are you kids doing? Nothing.
No,
that's pretty much.
The queen comes in and is like, hey, what you guys doing? Just hide all the swords behind them. It's like nothing. You ain't doing nothing. It'll be exactly that.
So it's just generally at the moment, it's just, I already have most of the stuff set up. It's just a matter of fact, what Ventus happens at the moment. It's just I do know the issue is someone does wind up being there in sort of situation is because this interaction, your character's dad has an opportunity to make a peace treaty with the Thessians before the Aurora does.
For the Aurora?
Before Aurora, it's the queen, the original queen.
Yeah.
That's why she sent him over there. Because of that reason, and realize they are kind of splitting, but she has. I don't think she cares. I don't think Gloria cares at this point.
Cool.
I don't think she does, because she just is like at this point. He's like.
Again, nothing like bad. Nothing would happen for like at least a few generations before fighting actually starts. So by the time the fighting actually starts, it would be a different person on the queen's throne. Unless they live a while longer.
They live the only reason why you might have issues with her is because the individuals that are part of that line is a hero.
That would be a problem, wouldn't it?
It's a hero bloodline. And I know who that's connected to. It's the hero that's connected to Harmony. That's why. Actually, no. It's the hero connected to Harmony.
That would be a problem, wouldn't it?
Yeah, as it's blood. The hero is a bloodline related thing. Because while she's gone, those items go to her child until she reincarnates. Because heroes and champions reincarnate.
Yeah.
And also, she's Arkan, so they reincarnate anyways. So if you see the issue in that situation, only character that's classified, quote unquote, unintentionally a champion because he got picked and won as accidentally, he has nothing to do with it. That region, which is Alarix. Because he's doing his own thing, which is the funny part.
Yeah, he's in his
They can
own
just have
thing.
their own. Yep, just that drama can just have its own drama. Anyways, more likely I'll eventually just hear about it.
I just feel like, huh, interesting.
Arcadia is like splitted between two different nations. Actually, at this point, it could split into 3. I just haven't done it.
3? Well, I guess
Yeah,
technically
because
would it
remember,
be
there's one.
already 3? I'm not sure.
It could split into 3. It could. It could if there's another family not liking someone being in charge. You know, as in your character's dead.
Yeah. Well, his character's dad already has a country.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. Just generally the man am related to the factions because there's there. I do know the only. I was just doing some calculations because there might be another sub-faction over there, and don't worry about it too much. I know what the third faction is, but it's nothing to do with Arcadia. It is part of Arcadia, but it's in the water.
All right.
So remember, there's Arcadians that are aquatic related. There's another faction that might be in the water as well. And it's more likely formed by the freaking, jokingly, the lobsters. You remember they were a mafia group originally.
My God, they're gonna find a
mobster.
crime republic.
Originally they do, usually.
They
But
usually
remember, it also
found.
it actually gets split into 3. From my knowledge, there's 3 great. There's actually 4. One is related to this the octopus. One related with the whale individuals, which is the other one. Yeah, it's 3. That's 3. 3 factions, cartels, you would say. It's during the situation. One's in the more colder region, one's somewhere in the middle, like more.
Yeah, Maine lobster. Let's go.
One's in the more colder region, one's in the more mid region, one's more towards the more tropical region, and which is the more tropical region is where our lobster individuals are. So they're closer to you, is where they are.
So if we need anyone to disappear, you know how to call. You came to me on the day of my stud's wedding.
He actually, I don't think he remembers the. It's called the Blob family. It's not spelled with X. It sounds like blood, but it's actually Blob. This is one less O. And it's. I think you would know about that family. It's one of the more scary ones. Nobles of with the ocean. I think they're the only one that remains to the modern because they decided to stop being a crime cartel and decided to actually behave themselves. They just realize it's not worth their time.
Perhaps murdering other lobsters is not a good idea for business.
Not lobsters. It's just no. It's murdering anybody that isn't what they are wasn't a good idea. It's best to work together with everybody, and that's what they wind up doing. And then they had to start having issues with the octopus because the octopus wanted to be racist. And they wind up fighting in turf wars with each other before near around towards a certain point. remember that one incident in the campaign where you guys had to walk through under water between a gunfight?
Was that us?
Yeah, you guys did a long time ago. When you were getting the object that lets you guys breathe underwater. The gems. You know, when you were going over there. There was an area, one of the major cities down there. Down there, there was a conflict between a mafia group that has issues because they want to take over businesses, and we're the only individuals that have businesses. That's what the octopus Arkans wanted to do, which wouldn't be fair for anybody underwater, if you know what I mean. That was the issue. And Cherry Blood, that's his name, that is literally his name, wanted to, he didn't want to do that because it's bad for business, because he wants business with everybody. So he's like, okay, we're going to make you not exist. And then if anybody doesn't change their ways, they're just going to die. Anyways, that's pretty much what the problem was. In which, and also sometimes, she can't actually fully control what happens in the ocean. So she kind of leaves the ocean to actually Cherry Blood's control, because she can't actually go in the water and have full control of it. That's why it ends up as a separate kingdom of its own. That's why the rulers of the ocean is a little different with the Arkans versus on land. Because it's actually ruled over by the lobster, a lobster individual that used to be a mafia, used to be a head of a mafia. That actually changed from being that way to a good individual, but still has his own ways of doing things, even though sometimes it's a little questionable. But sometimes it's the only way to do things, especially when you're dealing with individuals that are doing crime. Because you know how they fucking think, if you get the idea.
Yeah. What is Gilbo going on?
I don't know. Is Lovejoy still there?
He's unmuted.
Or did he die? Lovejoy, did you die? I'm gonna poke you. I think he died. Whenever time, like, I would like to hop back to him on occasion when I try to, he's not there. The beans. Gonna.
Oh, you finally need me. Okay.
Oh, there he is.
I'm here. What's going on?
So I was gonna go back to what you were doing, the random
Okay.
chaos in the background.
Sorry, was giving sneezing cat some medication. So stop fucking sneezing constantly.
Well, at the moment, not much as exciting things are going on other than you're slowly made your area bigger, and that's about it. In more places.
Fine. And Gilbert's like, you know, I should pose for statues. She's like, where's a perfectly placed like pile of mud I can stand on? He's like, I know stone statue probably won't look very good, but I mean, we can always upgrade it eventually. And when do we have the actual resources to do so?
Mhm. Meanwhile, they're just casually just doing certain things, and the stuff is just the weather is just being forgiving at the moment. Well, trying to be forgiving, but nothing really exciting is going on other than them trying to build out what they need to have in the location. As they finally managed to get enough resources to make sure no one goes fucking hungry. Because that was the thing they were working on. And now they're working on make it easier to make certain other things, like certain resources. Generally about that was going on, I guess. And I guess someone was starting to make working on making a structure, a statue, but they couldn't find rocks, so they kind of made it out of the mage crystal.
And she's like, "Oh, it's perfect. You can color it properly and everything."
Makes it look exactly like stone, but not really. Fake stone.
She's like, "We wanted to eventually upgrade it till it eventually actually looks like me."
Yeah, but it'll look more authentic if it was made of stone.
Yeah, I guess.
They'll still won't have to worry about it being destroyed for a while.
I mean, it would take someone stronger than the person who made it to destroy it.
Or something with a certain type of breath ability to actually destroy it. But otherwise, I think we're mostly fine. Let's see. Generally, not else is really going on at the moment. Because just like I said, it's been mostly mellow, other than in your area. Other than the random potential random dramas in the background that eventually might occur in the near future. In beans. So right now they're working on an area to make a land vehicles, so it's easier to move around instead of just walking everywhere. That's what they're doing right now. That's the next project, is making a spider vehicle so they can move around further into the savannah, so they can make a secondary town. See if they can find a better spot for something else. Because, if you know what I mean. Because they need a spot for a flat enough spot to make the area for something. But they just
a gateway or something?
Well, a certain type of vehicle. But as of right now,
Gil was like, eventually we're going to find the resources to make a gateway so we can trade with people across the ocean without having to make a boat.
I know. But at the moment, we're working on. We haven't even gotten to the beach yet. We're still in the savannah. That's why we're working on making little outposts in between here. And that's why I need to make some spider next like things, so it's easier to move through this terrain, so we can make resource spots so we can actually make outposts like locations set with sub-locations between before we get to the ocean.
Shooting orders, would you guys like some more gems for my ears or whatever to help make some ruins if need be?
I think we are fine. It's just we're making the structure right now, the building,
Okay,
the
I
bunker.
was just wondering.
Like,
I was just wondering if you guys needed any kind of gems for any runes for any of the structures or anything.
I'm fine. Your ears are also already cleaned out, anyways, while we were napping.
Oh, interesting.
That's why your ears feel empty.
Huh.
Alright, it took me too long to get around to making this.
Hmm?
The image of Gilbo leaving Alrix, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it was a hard choice.
Yeah.
Hard choice was made.
Anyways, like I said, not much is going on other than I think there needs to be How much LRS left of this season before I do anything else?
Okay. How much time passed after Alrix talked to James?
It would be I just need to know how much.
There is till the summer solstice, or
yeah,
summer solstice is like a month and a half away.
Okay, so it would be another week afterwards since you would have talked to him. Then you would, actually, nothing. Yeah, really nothing serious is supposed to happen in the next 2 weeks if I think about it.
I mean,
Other than
hey, okay, yep, here's a week of rain. Woohoo! Week of rain.
And then also the different minerals that you have gotten from that thing. So someone found a way to found that they have zinc, vulcanite in this area, and then that's about it. They have no gold, no razorite, which is the gold equivalent. So they're just smithing, I guess, coins. So if they really want to, they can always make a well, no, they have no tin, so they can't make they don't have tensionite, so they can't make a bronze coin, a green bronze coin. If you know what I'm referring to, Catbox.
Yeah.
So they don't have the tin equivalent. They only have copper. Because they don't have the correct biome for that either. Which actually they're near it, but it's on the other side where you have to go to the desert because you can find it there. Or in that drier areas.
It's like that situation where, like, when you realize what you need on the other side of the mountain, but you can't get there because the mountain's too cold.
Which is not in the savannah area. It's actually in the area. Oh, it was the area you walked through. It's the mountain there, and that area is the area has a higher chance for gold and tensionite. Never it's 10 and pretty much equivalent.
It's hilarious when you have an area where you need to get a resource but you can't get to it because the area between points is too fucking cold to go through.
And that area is like it's pretty much a desert region. It's a foot of the mountain on the other side is where that material occurs. And there's another material that does occur in your area, but you have to dig deep into the ground for it, which is actually
I mean, isn't that the surprise? Isn't that the solution for everything when finding resources? If you can't find it in the surface, just dig. Just dig until you find it. And
Because I know what stuff even occurs in certain places. And that area is just going to be mostly minerals. But I do know because remember Savannah used Savannah used to be, because it's usually a Savannah used to be something else before it became another thing. If you get my idea. A desert's just a desert. Because some places used to be ocean at one point, so if you get the idea. So you don't know.
I do. I think I understand.
So certain things could have certain things underneath it. Like certain resources would be in certain places. I do know it's more of a gemstone area where is in your location. So you have a higher chance to find elemental gems in your area. Or gemstones in general. In the savannah. And I think lupinite is the other thing you can find over there. It's the equivalent of literally fucking silver, and that's about it. And maybe have a small chance to find boltonite somewhere. And that's about all. Because it's not a good location for iron equivalents. But you would have the squishy, there's some other materials that could be found there, but they're soft metals. But I can't remember what one the other one is, but I am. No one never used it as currency though, but it is kind of rare. But it's called paladine. It's the pretty much a equivalent to actual power, but no one actually uses it, and it's like some sort of this lavender colored metal, like kind of lilac-y, pale purpley colored metal that occurs in that area. So there's certain metals that occur in certain magic metals that occurs in there, and only other material that could occur somewhere, but you guys, none of you are in that area, but it can only occur in somewhat temperate-ish regions. That would be the tungsten's equivalent, if you know what I'm referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be wherever your father is. They have a chance to find him. Yeah, as well as the iron. Those would be
actual iron is there, or iron equivalent?
It's iron equivalent. Number Loganite will be over there. At least you have iron, a way to make steel. But because of that region, and also one thing I do know about roserite, it has a harder time occurring in places that are colder. Regions that are not as volcanic, or areas that don't occur as large enough as chunks and near the polar caps. You're more likely to find it more in the oceanal regions closer to the equator. But it's usually very deep underground. Usually. Well, it matters by the age of the planet and how many times it has cycled through. If you get the idea, tectonic plate shifting, if you get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's maybe why we have had a chunk of roserite up here, is because this place has been around long enough where some of it moved up topside at one point by related time. So there's got to be some roserite in some of the mountains somewhere. It matters by where and what part of it is. And what color it will completely vary. But that's matters with it. here and there, but that's this material. And I do know this place does, because of its age and lack of originally having civilization, there is very low. Hmm.
You know, it's a little softy, a little spongy. Yeah. We're going to lightly tamper the same as you did here. So using this tamper tool.
Ooh.
Otherwise, you'll need the edges of the stamp hammer through the rubber mat.
I guess. How good is Bella at agriculture? I mean, she's good. I guess no. Bella would be
Is more
nutritionist, but we're
she
better
does
at being more of a
nutrition.
nutritionist. But I don't think
She
there's
does
really.
food.
I mean, Department of Health, but I mean, do we
I
really
know.
need a Department of Health in this day and age? I don't think that's something Alex is thinking about.
Well, I know who's someone that would know health very well, but at the moment, but they are actually would be the but the well, even though he can't, well, not the it would be the Pacific other of the guy that was originally there.
The mayor.
Mayor's mate.
Oh, Sox's mate.
Yes.
What's his name?
He actually,
I have it here somewhere.
I have to go look. Let me see what his name is.
Westlin, right? Westlin's mate. Westlin Sox.
If I can not worry the frick. Okay, I'm in the wrong location. I went too far down. Where? Nope. Where the? Where are you? We forgot the move, but I don't care. But because I'm having struggles with the internet, anyways. Is this you? Yeah, that's you. Are you gonna load? My stuff does not want to load. I'm not able to look at it. I have to open my fucking phone. My internet's malfunctioning. I can tell my internet's like does not like me. Shit himself, but that's that stuff. Okay, it's loaded. No, Evo. Yeah, that's him. The top individual. He's actually that's why you want him to go somewhere else to make watch over another location. But I do know is actually a doctor and knows medicine very well. Only other person that you would know that would know doctor, he isn't here because he's somewhere else back over the rest of the actual proper Hobbingsford Kingdom, which is Ribbon. He's the other medical individual that you know. But only other like this, like I said, he is, Sox is the only other person that you would actually know.
A bureau of medicine. Has Adrix ever met that person yet?
Yes, they have.
Oh, yeah.
He's the first person you talked to. He was the one being quiet next to us. So you didn't talk to him, but he's been there. That's why I showed you the picture, because he was there. He wasn't talking to him, but he was there. But there's certain characters that are vaguely very relevant, because they have certain skill sets that could be useful. As in, Westland has his own skill sets, but, well, he's no different than yourself, but he just doesn't want to do that. Because he's more better strategist then he is actually the leader type. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she's screaming.
Good thing I can't hear it.
And they are trying everything to prevent me from fucking hearing that. And she did that in the fucking hallway. Anyways.
Sometimes
Anyway.
sometimes I think she does it on purpose. And I swear, if she's doing it on purpose, I'd clock her.
Not really. It's not
Is this
really on
funny?
purpose. Because multiple personality disorder, you actually don't do it on purpose. Unless it's a personality that wants to do it on purpose. It's not actually her. If you get the idea.
Sounds like the other personalities in need of slapping without somehow slapping her. I wish there was a way to do psychic damage. So that way you could target the personalities individually, and then just mentally beat the shit out of whatever personality is causing her to scream until it stops.
That was a
Yeah. I'm gonna make a
Would listen to my music.
diagram of Alrix's.
Like I said, if you need anyone that has to do with military thing, Westland would be very good for that.
All right. So I'll also not only be a Duke, but also be the military expert. I guess that makes sense. A lot of Dukes do have multi roles, you know.
Yeah. He So that generally that's what he was originally was, but he's just like, I don't. Why do vets? I have nothing. I'm bored. Less. I'm bored. We're not going to war. What's the point of me existing? you know that joke when the general has nothing to do.
When the general has nothing to do, they make up wars.
That's literally what
he will go over to the dwarf side, throw like an axe, and like, oh, they throw an axe. In dwarven culture, that means they want to start a war. It's like, well, I guess we're going to war.
It's those grand admiral generals. Those. That's pretty much what he is. So you understand why he's bored.
Yeah.
And that's why if you went to his area, if you notice, it looks very military-esque. This city was like the little bit. Kind of looks like you just went into a war camp. Anyway, you realize it's a general that has nothing. like others than Ivy. I will just make infinite troops, and as long as I have my ham.
Ham.
Oh, sandwich. With cheese, mayo, pickles,
Yummy.
and a beer.
Beer.
So that's why it's funny. I bet after a while him being there, he realized that Westland's kind of maybe a reason why he seems like a little bit more organized than he should be. Is because he's a military individual that has nothing to do. The other military individual, he's not part of your group, but he's part of the other individual. His name is Alexander. He's the other major individual for military as well. The other Podlingster individual that's part of the family as well.
All right.
Which is the other brother. They have two individual, but they're a paladin. This guy's more of the like kind of like an Eldritch Knight. That's what he is. He's just not dressed in it right now. If you wanted to know, there's the difference between the two of them. One's pretty much an overglorified mage knight, and the other one's just a paladin. In other words, a conquest paladin. It has nothing to do. Hey, can we throw hands and so no? Aw. Come on. Why not? Can we have whatever grapes? Because we don't have grapes, because I want wine. That was a joke out of character. Conquer the place for wine. Anyways.
Conquer the place for wine. Let's do it. I'm down.
That was a joke, though. Is sadly they're neighboring areas. This is tropicals here, but that's why they're trying to figure like, we desire wine. Where do we need fine wine? We only have sparkling lemonade that's alcoholic, and we can make ale. Indeed, and that's it. We're just missing the wine. Is that they don't think the lemonade classy enough. That's just the problem. If you know what I mean. That's the issue why they like people are missing wine. It's mostly for morale reasons why they want it. But we actually found a way we could make rum, but that's pirate drink. But hey, it's something. Maybe we can trade that for wine.
If they'll take it.
Because remember, they have an area that grows sugarcane here too.
Also,
You remember?
stops your whining.
It's really funny. They have every source of alcohol except wine, proper wine, which is funny. I didn't realize half of these people were winos. Ernest randomly makes that comment, but he didn't say this out loud, but he mentally just told you that.
He says that to him.
Mentally. Jeez, half of these. I realize half of the people I'm entertaining them as winos, but they have no way to grit wine. Well, at least we know what we're going to be trading.
Oh,
is
good.
Alcohol for alcohol.
Gonna become a rum capital of the world. I mean, that's partly how my family business originally started out as is the transporting alcohol.
We actually grow sugar here too, and mead. We also have a way to get honey. We actually have the good honey, the honey that actually anyone can consume. You know that pink kind. You know that pink honey.
Good stuff.
Because he knows about. It's that one pink honey that everybody. He knows it. It's the one that's used. It's the common honey that's used in everything. Because they actually have it in this region. So it's the common honey. It's the one that's made by those pink bees that are in this area. So they actually have that. They also have another bee, but they can't consume that honey unless you're a podling spear, because it's poisonous. They have tox blight honey as well, which sadly they made a quarantine location when they found the bees to not be in that area, because those things are kind of dangerous. But in other words, they made sure anyone that isn't a podling spear do not go over there. Because at the moment we're working on make sure you won't have the detox stuff that ready all the time near that area.
We're doing anti-diarrhea medicine right now.
No, it actually will. No, it'll just straight up kill you
Oh damn.
by
Okay.
first making you paralyzed. It paralyzes you. It's slowly. It's a neurotoxin. If you want to know specifically, it completely paralyzes you and slowly like what it does is kind of shuts down the whole entire nervous system. That's what it does. As in disintegrates it, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Now you understand why it's nasty. But species that can eat poison can consume it. Only species that can consume it, that they're not here, they're over there. In other words, he points specifically a certain direction, meaning indicating the Festians are that way.
So you want me to talk to the Festians then?
Well, hey, I at least we'll get money from the Toxblade honey.
If
They'll
you-
have more use for it than we do.
Who's asking for the honey?
We don't know what to do with it. It's just sitting there
Good.
because no one else can eat it.
Who's talking to me right? Who's talking to Alex right now?
Believe them, Ernest.
Ernest.
No one can actually eat it. Yes, it's this green radioactive honey he's pulled out of a jar.
If we were to say turn that into alcohol, would we be able to sell it to them?
Yes, it actually helps rejuvenate the venom glands of the poison type podling type Vesians.
My God. Oh, yeah. Alex is gonna be making a brewery district. Great. All right. Well, I guess I did have plans. There was a plan. Like Alex, rifles through stuff. There was something I was working on. The weather station. The weather station. I feel like we need to have a canal run to power some things with. I don't know, to do some tests in the water and run a windmill to do some things internally. So I'm gonna
We found a way to found a way to send a signal to the satellite. All it did is cause a loud buzz. It didn't go very well.
No, that's what? I didn't know you didn't. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a weather satellite up
Anyways,
there.
I'm gonna run a canal down to the weather station, and then run it back down to the rest of the river. And on the other side there, that will create like a little island, and there I guess I can set up a brewery district.
Yeah, we should do that. And also maybe find a controlled location we can put those the one bees. Those ones that are in that section. The area with like the sides, be careful, there's deadly bees like side. That way. So they can relocate them to a safe, controlled area.
Safe, good area outside the city.
Like make a special enclosed greenhouse that specifically grows the flowers they like for the honey. That's what it's referring to. So we don't have to worry about it. Only people that are maintaining them would be only podlings because they're the only ones that can actually interact with them without getting stung and dying. If you know what I mean. Right? You get my point?
Yeah.
So at the moment, if we can find a location safe to put them in a controlled area to completely remove them from that location so we can use that for something else over there. Anyways.
You'll get someone on that zone who knows the bees good. Someone who speaks to the bees.
Well, the normal bees are fine because the only thing they do is the pink bee. The only problem when you have problems with the pink bees if you're allergic to them. Like like normal bees are. Anyways, let's see. Well, I guess we can work on get that project going and prepare to eventually get that to a safe location, as we need to. Is if we can get some certain bees in certain locations, then we can work on that project. Anyways,
Does it make a department of alcohol?
it's part of agriculture, really.
Yes, right. Agricultural. Oh, fuck. I deal with it. Hmm.
Mm.
Of that. Yes, he'll uh he'll go get I guess someone's gonna be his secretary technically. It would be I guess Arolana.
Kind of
He'll
has
go
a
get Arolana. It's like, Arolana,
mm-hmm.
could you
Mm.
could you get someone to work on this brewery district
And get a
and
safe
basically he,
location so we
yeah,
can move the bee, the the deadly bees.
yes, those. Yeah,
Yeah.
here's the plan. Here's some plans I've laid out. If you can arrange these things to be um followed through with.
Okay, this. I guess they would be on something that's on whatever he had, because they
Yeah.
actually found a way to get paper, because they found paper bark trees. Because the reason why they're having issues with the paper bark is because that's where those one bees are. They're in there. Ah.
Well,
That's why we're running a little low on paper, because those toxic blight bees are in the location. For some reason made a hive in the paper bark location.
they made a hive in the paper or the bark.
Yeah, because there's flowers growing on them that they like getting nectar from.
Hmm,
That's, but it won't take very long to fix it.
good.
So
Well, I appreciate the work you do. Thank you.
mhm.
Looking good
Well,
as always.
Oh, good. Well, I'm off to go deal with that. Mm. And report
Doesn't
to
react to the compliments. Like, oh, looking good as always.
well, it's still it's a typical her.
It's a
But
typical,
he's getting it. Yeah,
it's typical
which
look
is
of
funny.
like
Ernest
indifference. It's like,
Ernest is like,
something the matter.
nothing. I think it's funny. Crows are strange. Anyways,
Yeah, so I guess also during the next like this entire time he's also been trying to have a nice date with Nazetta, but I'm not too sure how many of those have been successful.
some of them turned out okay, unless the weather wants to be a piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't think the weather's very good this week right now.
Like, the weather's been delightful. Anyways, he says with a joke, Ernest.
Oh yes, I'm aware. Thank you for putting it out. It's almost the next month.
Anyways,
All right,
at
well,
least we got some projects started.
Yeah, one more month till summer solstice.
We're all gonna die. Just kidding. Was that a character? Anyways.
No. It's not like gonna be, Ozai's not gonna pop out of nowhere and then start hurling fireballs, right? Do you get the reference?
I vaguely get the reference, but not exactly, because my brain wants to twiddle around. Let's see if my computer wants to behave itself, or do I have to use my phone? Blue. Okay.
I should probably have two different trees. One for the departments and stuff, and one for the vassalages or appointments, whatever. Angel,
Here,
sorry.
I'm just thinking.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Sorry, I got distracted by
All right.
medication. And I was trying to look for something. So I'm looking for something. If this wants to. Being weird. Sorry, I'm trying to find an image for something. Let's see. Sorry if I seem to be quiet because I'm trying to do something. Or I forget.
All right.
Okay, did I close? I guess I have to open it manually. I rolled something strange, and we might have gotten something early.
Huh?
You know the entity that's supposed to happen near the end of the season?
I thought it was supposed to be in the season.
Yeah, but I rolled something to see what someone was doing in the background. Not him himself, but the certain somebody. What she was doing. She got bored and this kind of just plopped him somewhere, even though he's not awake.
Okay, well, we'll deal with that later then.
In a minute. But where he's his throne is, I kind of rolled that, but might have interrupted whatever the heck your character was doing.
What? Right there. He's asleep. How much problem can he cause? There really gonna be a problem with sleep?
Really, not much of a problem, but he's definitely asleep. Anyways, if you don't mind having a gentleman that is like 60 foot tall, unconscious in the middle of whatever the heck you were doing.
Oh, is he in middle of town? Is that what you were saying?
I don't know what you were to say your character was doing exactly at this moment.
Working
Because it
on.
happened. It was like because it was after the first time. After it's been 3 days since I last from the last skip.
It's been 3 days.
3 days later.
So would it be? I guess it would be the next month. Maybe. Guess would it be? Oh, I guess. Oh, what a perfect day for it to happen on. I'm pretty sure it's happening on the 6th of VRA, right?
Here.
Well, that's great. 'Cause that's Nazetta's birthday. Hooray! So I'm pretty sure he is currently working on some birthday plans for her.
I can't ironic. I hate that ironic.
He's like he has some big old good birthday plans for her, for
And then all
the
of a
girl
sudden,
he's trying to marry, and it's like, how about we,
oh, and then suddenly it's given this dude that seems a little out of place. It seems like this the turd in whatever in the middle of what you're doing in front of you. I'll give you the picture in a second.
Great. I love when this stuff happens.
I hear you being a butt. There you go. I'll put it in the proper location for the time being. So it doesn't.
Well, so this is just like I'm pure friend or something.
He's unconscious though. I almost like.
So is the new picture just posted?
It's in Champions, the
Okay,
Divine
cool,
General
cool.
stuff.
He's not gonna be a
It's in
problem,
Champions.
right? He seems fine. He seems like a cool dude. He's just a chill dude. He's just coming out here to have some B rum that we're working on. All right. It's been brewing for like 3 days, or like it's been like brewing for like a week.
Why does he smell like ozone?
Happens.
Why do I feel it?
So is he just
Ah,
is he just like asleep in the middle of my middle of
Ernest,
town or something, or like just outside of town or
wherever
something?
you, whatever the hell you're in the middle of doing,
He's just there.
I
He's
feel
just now.
bad. Yeah, I kind of only concerned about it. I don't know what you were in the middle of doing. I feel bad if he destroyed anything accidentally, because he was just plopped there.
He just plopped in front
Ernest
of
is
him.
sitting there. Yes.
Like, oh, that was the bouquet of flowers I was working on for Nazetta.
Ernest's sister. Fuck. Like, why did you just drop the man in front of someone?
It
You
had
don't
it
do
had
that.
it had her favorite flowers and her favorite color,
I can fix
all
it.
arranged in a heart.
I can fix it. Ernest, I'll fix it. One moment. I interesting. Is this the big? He's also a public sphere. But one moment. He just gently moves him aside and undoes the damage he did. There you go.
Okay, Ernest, that's a realistic heart. It was more of a stylized heart.
That's no. That's what he actually did. He didn't know he reverted it back as if nothing good is what he did.
That's better.
So, anyways, I guess we have a temporary guest at your place.
Set him on the couch.
Hmm.
Oh, no. Tonight's is Nazetta's birthday, So I would like if you would please keep him distracted. If he, or make sure he doesn't wake up. All right, don't let this night be ruined like every other night I ever have with Nazetta. I can barely ever have a nice day with her.
Like he's trying to figure out. He's interesting. That's what he is. Interesting. He's exactly the same species as. Why is he so? He's interesting. I don't worry about that. He gets to hang out in the different location. Yeah. Wait a minute. It's like I will deal with that. Huh. Interesting.
Also, could you
He did
no, yeah, just keep him distracted. I'll get someone else to work on that.
He's unconscious still at the moment, but I
Yes.
think I know why. Because he needs energy.
But don't give him
He'll
don't
die.
give him energy. I would really appreciate it
Want
if you
him
do
to
not give him energy.
explode?
You're telling me if he doesn't get energy, he would explode if you don't give him energy.
Yes, Podling spheres. When they die, they explode.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Oh,
And he's
okay.
also a gemstone I do not want to explode.
Yes, that's like it'd be like 1,000 kilo. That would be like 1,000 kilograms of TNT exploding.
Let you know, if he just gentleman had blew up, he'll take out the town.
That'd be 1,000 megaton of TNT exploding.
Yep. So I need to. I think I need to revive him. I'm sorry. I can. You can. I guess I'm just not going to be at
Yeah,
the party.
More like probably like
Which is
15 tons of TNT exploding right here.
Good.
Is that basically what he
I'm-
is? That's basically what he is. If he dies, he's just like a nuke.
Yes. That's why he's panicking. Like, wait a minute, if he explodes,
if
he's
you
dangerous.
wake him up, you just keep him distracted. Can you do that?
I'm going. Yeah, I'll do that for the time being. I was trying to figure out who the heck he is too. I have never met this person. We have a
I'm
problem.
gonna go.
And meanwhile,
Check
I have a
out.
question. Is Lovejoy there?
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
might have to poke him
I need to
again.
poke him. I might have to poke him. Because this might be a problem. Because the. Did someone die? I need to poke you. This is a. What I snap. Intruder. Roger, did you die? I'm gonna poke you with my stick. Oh, good stick. Wake up. Wake up or I'll beat you with it. Anyways.
You're poking me.
Okay. We maybe have an early guest appearance of a certain someone.
Yeah. What's going on?
Of the certain one person, and where he randomly occurred, he randomly got this thrown in front of Alarix unconscious.
Yeah, I know. I heard that. Yeah, I was listening.
I know, but the issue is he's like, I don't know what to do with him. Wait. Is she here?
You just
just
know what? I don't know what I'm gonna
literally-
do. Teleports him to her.
Just randomly teleports him in front of Dabu. This is your problem.
It just teleports, like falls off and like does like the Family Guy like death pose.
And Davu's like, ooh, who is this handsome gentleman? He's like, looks like it's triple loaded fried kelp rolls with sour cream and fried potato for you. And
Deal with the problem. Give it to me. I'm not dealing with this. Give it to the because they realize it's what he's connected to. He's confused. It's making his Turtles equivalent of is not I'm not processing this.
Not like
And then you realize
what?
in general, he's just on the table like that.
So I guess Davu was like, all right, you can tend to this. Starts, he pulls up these things that read. They are they're rolls filled with the following: fried kelp, sour cream, and fried potato. And they look like those sandwich wraps.
But at the moment, he's like saying like he just occurred out of nowhere. Is this the guy that was supposed to be in storage?
Davu's like, yep. And he's no longer in storage.
He kind of occurred in front of Alex and destroyed a flower arrangement accidentally. By the
She's gonna be nosy. Like, who is he getting a flower arrangement for?
Anyways, don't worry about that. Have fun taking care of him for the time being. Kelly wakes up. Meanwhile, meaning if I think she would be where Gilbo would be, because that's where.
Yeah.
They would see Ernest for a minute, just drop off this dude, but she knows who that is. It's Zolo. Is his nickname? It's Zololine.
She's like, wait, Zilly? Is that you? He's like, wait, wake up, Zilly. He's like, Zilly, wake up. She's slapping his face. He's like, wake up.
He needs food.
You son of a bitch, wake up.
Where's that? Where's Matt? Okay, I hope he doesn't mind grape, but soda. That's all I have.
She's like, I mean, I've got, I mean, I've got, he's like, I mean, I've got I've got a vanilla cherry, Dr. Pepper, and, would that work?
He just needs energy, because that's his problem. Why is he's unconscious? He needs energy. And the quick energy we can think of is just straight up sugar. And that's not the problem. We just need to wake him up so he can actually eat something solid a little easier. Let's see.
She gets a bunch of the one rolls ready, and then like dumps a whole bunch of vanilla cherry Dr. Pepper, like fucking down his throat. He's like, wake the fuck up! I know it's diet soda, but wake the fuck up!
It's funny when he wakes up, he just burps. God. Was that cola? Or
She's like, actually, that was a diet vanilla cherry Dr. Pepper.
Diet. That's why I have that weird aftertaste.
She's like, well, it was the fastest thing to pull out of my bag to help you out of your state. She's like, would you be interested in some fried kelp rolls that have sour cream and fried potato in it?
Sure. Where the hell am I? Wait.
She's like, welcome to the future.
And why do I look like I'm in a country fried hell?
She has to explain to him everything that happened since he last went unconscious.
Wait, there's a secondary individual that has able to use my objects?
She explains that it happened by accident.
I don't care.
She also explains what happened to him, or a piece of him, the piece of him here.
Oh dear. Oh well, not my issue at the moment. Let's see. So I have new objects.
So yeah, and I mean, we could definitely use you to get rid of that piece of him if that piece of him becomes a problem. Because he's kind of dangerous.
Well, you guys kind of made him dangerous.
And she's like, it wasn't my fault. It was the dog.
No, it's everybody's fault in this situation because no one stopped it.
And Dabu's like, look, I'm new here. It's not my fault.
No, it's just generally the problem is no one stopped it that had the ability to stop it. To cause this to occur. So generally, it's specifically, it's the fault of the ones that could actually stop it.
Like, wouldn't it have been like Exodus' fault because he wasn't doing things right?
No, it started with the situation that there is certain the very thing is order of things. People were scanning the trees not thoroughly enough, and I know you can do that. Doesn't need a lot to actually scan for tumors. He's specifically referring to them now.
And then Nell's like, it's not my job.
Anyone?
That was supposed to be my boss's job, and my boss is dead.
at the time. That's what the situation was at the time. And then you would have to just try scanning it in general to see if there was something there, because it's not hard to scan the trees.
She's like, I never figured. She's like, I never figured out how to do that.
Oh. This time, I guess half of the protectors were all freaking put in things, so they couldn't do anything because it's not their fault either.
I was trapped in a video game for like, I think 30 years, maybe more. I have no idea how long I was actually in the Ape Circus.
Angelus
I was trapped there a while.
Angelus was slowly crumbling into pieces.
And she's like, and like Jack sends a text of, it's not my fault either. I was also trapped in a video game. I know in theory I probably could have tried to stop this, but now I was trapped in a video game. I had amnesia on top of it. So did Augie and Angler. They had amnesia and were trapped in things.
I think generally what it was everyone was trapped in. There was like weird barriers going on, but now all the barriers are gone, but it's a little late now. Except that barrier, which is on that tree specifically, which is 8th. Because of the that artifact, which is not mine, which is actually part of the champion that's supposed to be connected to that's actually Inferium's champion's object. That's interesting. How did he pull that off?
He's like, and Eternia then says, also, it's not my fault either.
You got trapped somewhere. And you also were missing pieces of yourself. And also, you kept on getting overpowered by glitches.
He's like, I can't affect anything with spirit energy. I don't know why. It doesn't work. I can't hurt hollows either. Just to let you know.
Meanwhile, back to the general argument with that sort of situation. Now, let's see.
And Dob was like, this is a real fucking mess.
Sounds like one. Anyways.
And it was like, and Lomo probably didn't fucking do anything because she was too worried about meta at the time. Because there's 2 were an item at one point.
Certain situations with that. But,
She's like, still can't believe Lomo freaking combined with freaking Xenomorph Queen. I hate those things.
Anyways, we have a lot of other chaos at the moment. Generally.
I mean, yeah, people seeming to try to get civilization back to normal again. After what happened to the last planet. She looks over towards a certain somebody. She's not saying anything. But you can tell which direction she's looking. And what she's insinuating it. Somebody fucked up and doomed the previous planet. They didn't think about what they were doing.
Was it younger individuals not listening to angels again?
She explains about the immune compromisation thing that happened.
No, wasn't the issue.
And then it was followed by another individual who did damage to the planet.
That's not what the issue was in the first place. That was not the problem. The problem was someone did not listen. Karma was going to actually come in a form that no one's going to like. Because remember, if she says that, it's going to come in a form that no one's going to like. You heard her say that before. He looks at Gilbo.
Gilbo's like, yeah, but there's no fucking thing I could have done about it.
I know. It's just because if someone actually doesn't mind her, she usually says like, oh well, if you're not gonna listen, eventually this is gonna come back to bite you, and not in the way you want it. And whenever it happens, it will happen in a way that is going to be a castle off, be horrible. And
Gilbo is like, first of all,
it's going to affect everyone around you. It's going to affect. Let me finish. It's going to affect everyone around you, because it's not the person that's causing it. It's the person. You are the reason why you actually caused it to become that way. Not the person that's making it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the world's not livable at the moment, it's because it's a message of always make sure you listen to the ones that actually mean what they mean, especially if they are actually honest.
And Gil was like, it's funny, because none of this was technically my fault. Because I kept trying to avert the entire disaster, but certain parties kept wanting to pedal the boat in the wrong direction. I am not going to name names, and I am not going to point fingers, because we are long past that point, and it would not help anything.
The problem was, the problem in the first place, there's too many species on the planet. That was the problem from the beginning.
Yes, and that was Exodus' fault, because I could have sworn that it was brought up to him multiple times, but he didn't want to move anything.
Yeah, but the best way to actually solve the issue so it didn't get overloaded is to actually make the planet smaller.
Yes, to make it into a bunch of multiple smaller planets that have individual shit on individual planets. But nobody wanted to do that. Because everyone was being like, oh, we make it too hard for species to interact, yada yada yada, or I don't wanna move it, because yada yada yada. When really, he should have just moved shit.
And after that little, because after the first thing, Angelus is just like, I only care about the things I put on the planet. I don't care what he put on the planet. That's why she moved certain things to a certain location, have things be relocated in certain places. At the moment, these things are just kind of a mess. But at the moment, it's just, that world is, it's a mess. It's a big mess. But the situation, well, I do know there's a small issue. As
What is
eventually,
it? Mhm.
certain champions might have to go to where she is eventually. But don't worry about it right now. You have quite a bit before that event. But also, you might have. What is it? When is it? And it don't matter right now. It's too far in the future to worry about right now. But, and that's why just be prepared to move again.
Huh?
Joe was like, wait, what do you mean move again?
Specifically, certain champions either we go where her champions eventually will have to go to where she is, as an Angelus. Is why.
I mean, her actual champions and the people that just accidentally connected to her?
Generally. That's what it was referring to. So right now, how am I gonna do this? This is kind of feels funky without him anime stuff. Okay.
And God was like, don't worry, we can get your stuff back. And
Wait. I didn't realize there was a box. There's a box. Crap.
what? And God was like, what? Do you need me to go back to the other area and get your box?
No, Ern is like found something somewhere else. Is like, I think this was supposed to be his. Meanwhile, Catbox.
Yeah.
Catbox, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
I realized he had a box with him, and I think I need to deliver this to them.
Right. Go ahead.
Beaver back. This magically. I think this is yours.
He's just in the middle of having like a dinner with like Nazetta, and he just appears like, "Hey, I gotta go do this thing." It was like, all right.
And also, happy birthday, and then teleports away. And teleports away.
Some people.
But he also leaves a, and also someone wanted to, and then he also left something else on the table.
What do you leave?
It's a bottle of wine.
Well, wine for the birthday girl.
He more likely stole it somewhere.
I guess I'm sort of in charge here, so it's a hand wave. Plus, he's a god. Are they really? What are they gonna do? Are they really gonna try to arrest a god?
It's funny where he stole it from, because you recognize the label where it came from.
Where did it come from?
He knows the company.
Is it a company that did a lot of business with his family?
Yeah, it's related to his family.
I mean, how bad could it be? He looks at it, it's like, this is... This is top stock stuff.
He stole it. He stole some white wine from their cellar over there, because he got bored. Like, what do we have? And like, dude, I'm taking this with the joint and leave. Because he's a divine.
Just imagine like one of the butlers goes down in his family's private cellar that they've just built back up to get like a new bottle of wine, just sees him, appears like,
No.
see anything? And then
And, like, he
disappears.
I bet he has stolen things from that already a few times. But
Mhm.
the servants never say anything. It's just
It's just
this is a divine.
Ernest is a friggin' regular of stealing fucking top stock shit from from
It's fa-
Alrix's family.
well, I think the only it's just funny.
Yeah. Xander would recognize the bottle too.
Yeah. How? Oh Lord. Oh, I guess he's. I guess they're bottling that stuff already. Like what?
Gotta get back to
Bottle
it
that
quick.
already. Hey, at least you got the white wine because the red wine doesn't is a little more sour. Anyways,
Yeah. Anyways, pours her a glass. But
the silliness.
technically belongs to me anyways.
Uh-huh. That's why he kind of because he's just doing mischief in the background. He's like, you know the
If he was so accustomed to
unintentional.
stealing this, what else has he been doing without my knowledge? This is the kind of stuff he does when I'm asleep.
He also came back once with some gourmet chocolate.
Why?
I don't know.
Why'd you get the
He
gourmet
kind of
chocolate?
left it as it's my birthday.
Oh. Of course. I was thinking you talk. I thought you were saying he did it previously. I'm like, why would he not bring me gourmet chocolate?
He stole her some gourmet chocolate for her birthday. Somewhere.
Like someone's like, oh shit, no, where's my anniversary? Someone's like, anniversary is coming up. It's like, no, where's my anniversary gift? No, the anniversary gift I got for my wife. Oh no, she's gonna kill me. I don't know. I promised I didn't forget this time.
Ernest is just casually doing things in the background and just getting things to make it seem extra fancier than normal. Don't know where the stuff's coming from. How did he also get the certain flowers for the bouquet?
Alex is gonna pretend like he did not get the bouquet replaced. It's like, this is the original bouquet. Nothing happened to the original.
He's like, he's like, meanwhile, Ernest is just causing mischief. Like, why is he like, God, what is the weird cat doing? Hey, it stole a bottle of bean.
Honey, the god is stealing her wine again. Get the spray bottle.
Oh, it's already gone. It's typical mischief. I wonder if you'll do the same thing for your own characters. Gourmet shit.
I wonder what kind of things is he teaching the kids.
Well, even though what's funny, he is connected to consequences. If you did not know that.
When we
But some reason they.
When we learn your actions have consequences.
For some reason they don't affect him.
Well, if you're the god of
We haven't.
consequences, you're just become immune to them, right?
Unless I was very weakened and had amnesia and who had all my powers taken from me. The only time if I had issues with consequences is that one time with relations with Kiki. That one time. Anyways, means I was not actually myself. Anyways, hey, I'm gonna leave you guys, you alone for the time being.
Thank.
Unless you want more something.
Um. Well, I can't think of anything. I mean, well, there's one thing, but also, I don't know. I guess, is there any? I guess asking if there's anything Nazetta wants for her birthday. Anything at all will be granted.
Only that, well, it can be granted, but I might have to, quote unquote, makes the yoink noise. Or here, make that noise. Yoink. Hurts. Because they have no other way to get it at the moment. There's only time when, but if it's somebody fascinating to them, I'm not going to deal with that because because I don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with Grimjaw because he can actually kill me. That's why he can actually kill me. Because, well, God of Death.
Mhm.
Anyways.
Well,
So, anything from anywhere else, though?
yes, is there anything that you just so desire, Nazetta?
I think I'm fine for now. I'll go elsewhere for the time being until she needs anything or want anything. I'll just give me a mental communication. He says casually to Alaric City disappears to leave you guys for peace for the time being.
All right.
I'm having time is it? And spiders is like weed. Why you're smoking that stuff? I can smell it through my walls. Okay.
There is one thing Alric's thinking about needing. Stuff to like make a ring, Like a
I thought I told you I thought you were supposed to plan the idea on that design beforehand. Anyways.
he has an idea for design in his head. Just needs like the materials that would be equivalent to a Arcan engagement ring,
See, I can only.
See, this time around, doesn't he get a rock that needs to withstand the chewing of a Snarvin,
Okay, then.
Because the other timeline when he proposed to Gilbo had to be strong enough to withstand her chewing on it.
Oh.
with metal. And then our third pile is going to be hazardous materials. As we stir it up, it's going to get funkier and funkier.
Oh.
Tend to settle to the bottom. Is that always the way? I think so. Leave it to me to get the TV.
Thinking. He's like, I have some ideas. That one moment. I can find something. I found something. I'm man. I found something, but some have to be happy that I'm taking that lump of golden rose, alright? But too bad. And we use it for something else.
Get a honk of red rose, right?
No, gold.
Gold rose, right? Is that more rare?
Yeah, it's gold. It's you know what rose gold kind of looks like.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what red. That's what golden roserite kind of looks like. If it was more shining.
Just drops in the middle of the table while they're eating.
And no, he just gently just like no, he's getting them. He didn't drop it. He's just stealing the material so he can use it for something else to make something. He's right now working on that. It's like I'm stealing these. What should it work in? What shape do you want the rock to look like? It's more square, round, heart shape.
A ring shape.
No, the stone's shape is there's a
Oh.
circle, oval, heart shape, square.
I guess heart shaped.
Okay. Do you want little tiny ones part of it or
Sure. Why not?
I can't think of a design. Mentally can't think of a design, but it's up to you to maybe find one. It's gonna be any normal ready ring because they usually use it traditionally, just like the humans do, which is just a normal ring. Only species that don't use a ring but uses a wristband would be the Thessians. They use a wristband, and so do podling spheres. As rings get in the way.
Of what?
Because they usually like to do things more. They think it's will be in the way, but not really. It's just traditionally to have a ring that's Arcadians and what is it? And humans and majority of the species, but only the Thessians and the podling spheres have a thing, a bracelet instead.
All right.
And maybe certain versions of the ponies, maybe because they don't really have fingers.
I guess like heart shaped ring. What gemstones going in it?
Working on it at the moment. He's just using whatever gems that won't get destroyed but also look nice.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just working on that at the moment. Like swiping things like do this and then just putting it together. Is he's just using he's using chaotic energy to fucking put a ring together.
You know, fitting.
But he's just using but he still needs raw materials, so he's like that I need this. He's not bad at making these things. He's just like the chooses not to is like I don't have to, but I want to. all the random sort of situations. Him, Cat, he's like, do I want to? No. Do I have to be motivated to do shit like situations? But Nibner, he isn't vaguely motivated. But like he says, like finally make something that I don't have an image for it, but you have a good idea of what your character kind of would want. But that's up to you what that would look like.
Yeah.
He finally sends it.
Oh yeah. He was
Here, he sends it.
Alex literally was just thinking about a ring he wanted made for her, and it just like appears in his pocket. It's like um,
Wow,
he just kind of like feels around his pocket, looks down. This is like very obviously looks down suspiciously.
anyways, you're welcome. Anyways, and also it does actually have a trait to give her extra defense, though. When she wears it as well, so it actually protects her too.
All right.
So it's not just a ring; it's also a magic ring. In other words, it's enchanted to actually defend her.
Let me try.
Special, so it's the ring is unique.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to find a good romantic atmosphere. I don't know. For a string, you know.
If it was a ring, it would be you would have to look for. I'll let you know the gem he used. Might look like opal, but it's not really opal. But that's the closest you're gonna find.
Just it's like pulls out of his pocket and just like, oh, which doesn't really show the table. It's like, oh shoot. Well, I guess now's better time than never, I guess.
He just made it out of something that was durable enough that won't actually be destroyed. That's why out of
Who
the
would have
strongest
thought the
stuff you
cat?
can actually find.
Who would have thought that? I don't know. This could be the best wingman here.
He knows his materials and how to get it.
He knows how to get ladies and guys, apparently.
And he knows his materials. So he one of the other gems, some of the gems you have not seen before. You haven't seen none of these gems before. But the way he arranged it, it looks really good though. And they also are durable enough, and they also will kind of bring out. Because if you notice, what it does, the color of the gem matches the eye of the individuals.
Mm-hmm.
The primary piece.
All right. So
That's
it's
what
like
it does. And usually the aligned individuals have
okay.
mostly
Well,
normal.
she has two colored eyes. She has green and yellow eyes. So is that like a?
I know that's why if you notice that gem, it's a heart, but there's two separate gems there that are interlocked with each other.
Okay.
So there's two different colored. If you notice, if you look at it, there will be two gems there. They're like two hearts. There'll be two different colors. Because you customize that, because she knows that she has heterochromia. If you don't know what I'm referring to.
What?
Heterochromia, I mean,
Yeah,
different eye
heterochromia.
color.
Yeah. And how does she notice? Because she's like very obviously looking down at something.
She knew it.
You know. Just I'm not good at speeches, so speeches like this. So just he's just gonna open up the box and hand it for here.
Too bad we don't have a proper image what that ring is, because it's like super customized too. So there won't be a
Yeah,
ring like at
it'd
all.
be really customized.
So this just has a ring that has
It's
the
just-
ability to match the eyes instead of those one worn. The primary gem does, and then there's these just accents gems are just there to be unique. That are just there, that are part of the band.
Mhm.
That's about it.
Hmm.
Just
I guess since I'm technically a king now, I need the queen, and I would want that to be you.
hmm. Yes, that's a yes. Yes.
Yes.
Like, anyways,
Hmm. Yes. Yeah. So now what?
I guess for this, well, I had a plan for step over journey.
And the plan for some gold?
Says. Beans. Oh, I may have stolen some Razorite. Just because. But don't mind me.
I don't. Does he just pop with a portal? Pop with like a portal and goes, "Hey, I stole some stuff. You know, don't worry about it."
Not like they need it. Meanwhile, someone's very angry somewhere. He's like, but they didn't see him do it.
Thank you. Well,
Well, it doesn't help that he's one of the stronger entities there, and most of the only divines that are still around kind of like can't stop him if he does anything. Well, something can, but she's choosing not to because she doesn't
makes
care
sense.
because she's
Why would they?
entertained.
Why would anyone want to stop him?
No, the one that can, choosing not to because it's more funny to watch what he's doing, which is actually Fingal. Is the only one that's strong enough to do something. The only other person that can do something is Dabu.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because that's the other individual that's stronger than him. The only other person that could do something too is actually Grimjow, but he's not. Because only thing he will do something if he tries stealing anything from his kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So he's leaving the Fessian stuff. If you get the idea.
Yeah.
And you,
So I guess that would. I guess Aura. I don't know. Take her home. I don't know.
a lot of stuff has a lot of time has gone by. You still are you when did you survey that one location?
How long ago? Which location?
You know the place where you're supposed to make the actual capital at.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That. Let me see. I'm not sure I marked it on the capital. Probably like
Right
a
now they're
month
slowly
ago.
making it.
Yeah, it was probably
We're
like.
slowly making it into a fishing town.
I've been busy up here with um. Is that Ernest saying it? Is Ernest like, or did like one of the other people come on and is like, hey, what are you doing here?
So Ernest actually kind of casually says that.
I
Because you
well
notice her.
looks over to Nazan. I've been busy. There's I
You know,
haven't
but
never got.
they have a they have spots where they're thinking you want to build it, but they're not. That's why they haven't put anything in there because there's some nice locations for a estate over there, but they don't know where you want to put it. So they're just putting it, leaving these certain areas that look like good spots for
Yes.
estate,
All right.
but they're over there. But there are, and there is people starting to be over there.
I suppose.
Because people have been craving fish is why. That's why there's a fishing thing going on over there. Because it's the closest water area with a good source of fish.
I guess yes.
That's why you have that and that's how you got you guys' dinner.
I mean, they're catching some good catches there. I'll be honest. I've been some good catches. I
Yes.
picked out the fish specifically because I know it wasn't Zetta's favorite.
Yeah. They're getting some good stuff over there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
We're also
I'm not
getting
surprised that
well,
cats
and
like fish.
and also, hey, we're also getting these things. He pulls out a giant a crab. On the over there
Yes,
too.
we're getting crab. What's a crab? You don't even know what a crab is, right?
Yeah, he does, but he has not seen one as about as big as half of his torso.
Well,
This is let you know this is a young one. These things they're actually bigger than this. They can get about as big as actually I think about as big as around as your dining table. And about or about as big as a full tire coal wagon cart, if you know what I mean.
well, I suppose we should head down there. Gather my camp.
Also,
Gather
maybe
James and the other maids, the kids.
see what's actually this might actually be good for a meal later. Actually, gumbo sounds good. Maybe you should have gumbo tomorrow for lunch.
Who's saying that?
Want gumbo?
Yes, I'll have gumbo.
Ernest.
Yeah, gumbo. Fine, gumbo. You
For
want
lunch.
gumbo? Grab gumbo. How about that? I don't know what gumbo is, but sure, gumbo.
Yeah, there's actually a hidden secret about Ernest, but I have never told you. He actually knows how to fucking cook. He just chooses not to.
Hey, I'm going to ask Bill what the heck gumbo is.
What's funny, the person that's actually been kind of casually back and forth cooking is mostly nobody knows actually who made the food. You think it was actually Bella or someone, but it tastes probably really good this time around. Even better than typically Bella has made. Almost like you know how Angelus' cooking is?
Yeah.
Like where it has a thing like it's like the best thing ever, like it's addictively good property. That's how the fish was. But she didn't cook it. And there's no one else around that could be able to cook other than Bella. But he has no idea that Ernest actually can fucking cook. And he's been casually making cooking on occasions.
Has he been the one that's cooking all the
He-
dinners they've been having this entire time?
Yes, and they've been seen to be abnormally, absurdly good. And he has, I wonder if he's going to put two and two together and realizing it's not Bella cooking. It's actually Ernest. And his cooking tastes actually, what the proper term, divine, is the word for it. Just like, you know how Angelus' cooking is?
Mhm.
He hasn't made any desserts, but he has made primary meals, though. He has not made a dessert. It's because he doesn't like making them. But or he just makes whatever heck he wants. But he seems his favorite foods to make is, remember, he likes fish. Anything that's related to fish, he'll actually make it anyways. But he's been cooking anything else because he just sounds like, well, I'm just going to. Because because he's changed a lot since you originally met him. Because he usually would be more lazy,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not been as lazy as he used to be, which is a little different. Lawrence's personality really changed. I mean, something was definitely wrong with him when you met him. It's like a cat that was sick. Because if you notice, most of the feline individuals, even with Arcadian and Arcan ones, they usually seem to be very active. Not really lazy, but active. Which him being lazy like that was very abnormal. I mean, something was wrong with him. Because even the male individuals tend to be a little bit more active. Because they tend to be active. They're very active individuals. Even though they're not a dog. They're very active. But though they tend to, they're one of the individuals that can quickly adapt when they're active as well, unlike the dog individual. In other words, they're only ones that can quickly adapt having a night shift a lot faster than a dog person can. Dog Arcan can, if you know what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Just remember, because of the night vision. Because they have their clock can be swapped around and without having consequences. Have a very very flexible sleep cycle, unlike most Arcans, or Arcans that are similar to them. They have that will do the same thing. It's a unique trait of the feline individuals, subspecies in general, which is interesting if you think about it. The dogs have their own benefits as well, because of their sense of smell is a thing, and also slightly other kind of traits of generally that went mostly well.
We should head to where we need to go then. And this will leave to go to the fishing village that's popped up.
Areas where they're like, where are you gonna put it? You know that joke?
Yeah. You're gonna put the capital down.
Or your estate, so we can work our way around for where the capital's gonna be. branch from that because you're supposed to be the centerpiece,
Hmm.
dude. Dude, you get the joke. Like,
I've been busy trying to get a pussy, you know? What I said about I mean
Yes.
pussy, you know, you're a cat, right?
Anyway, I know. It's just kind of. At least we got fish. Anyways. Nothing. Hmm.
Yeah,
What else do we?
so
Let's see.
we
What?
gather everyone in his camp, like, all right, time to go.
Okay. But well, that little distance isn't as far as compared to some places he has to walk.
Whoa, I thought they were gonna get on a wagon.
I'm sorry, I'm having a. Why are you malfunctioning? Okay. Oops. At this point, I think you would have that road now.
Yeah,
It's to see that weird, funny looking road
that's part of the
and that one special.
that's part of the reason why he was waiting. It's like was waiting for the road to be done.
The wagon. And also individuals slowly branching off things from it to places like slightly smaller roads that go to other locations. That's what individuals are doing now at the moment. Like branching things off of it. Um, how do you control this thing again? Ernest says with a joke.
Yes, I think now would be a good time to call it, or did you want to get to the summer solstice before then, or since the guy's
It's
here
fine.
now, that's technically, you know, what needed to happen.
Generally,
Mamma mia.
well, there is some other small things going on during when the one seasonal event happens. But that when the solstice happens, is because generally it's there's quite a few different events that are supposed to happen that day, but him showing up early doesn't prevent that from happening. But I am getting sleepy.
Yeah.
Oh, you're both gonna call it. That's fine.
I wish my internet wasn't being so dookie, so I don't have issues. Maybe I can during the week if my internet behaves itself, I might be able to remember to upload it in there,
Mhm.
like this link,
I don't
more
know.
updated version.
It's probably gonna change to the next version.
That's what it's referring to. Once you have a different version
Yeah, an
of it
updated
ready
version,
before.
because I guess the third version is gonna have the brewery district and everything, at least under construction or working build up state, you know.
And road,
Mm-hmm.
the weird road.
Brewer Road. Yeah, and on the main map, put a little fishing village down here.
Once I was waiting for the. I was referring to this map here, more than the smaller one. You know the
For
zoomed
to
in,
up the zoomed in one, or the zoom for the zoomed out one,
the zoom out one.
the zoom out one. Okay, yeah.
That one needs to be. I'll try to do that. I haven't done looking at that.
What's Angel's champion's name?
Zololin. you're not going to have as much issues as you think you do with him. He's just a little having a little questioning related to the situations. Well, he knows there's an issue, but the issue is just things could have been stopped, but it's not the fact that they're related to the situations of who was available at the time.
I like how Alex just pawned him off to Gilbo unintentionally. It's like, please just keep him distracted. Just take him away from me.
Because they don't want to deal with that right now. He's like, he doesn't want to deal with them either, because he knows that it's his energy that made him uncomfortable. God, fix that. And he has he's the same energy that someone else. But he's not him. I'm just gonna plop him over there, because he realized he's a second champion of the same thing. And that's why it was confusing him. Like, no, I can't deal with this. Someone else has to deal with this.
That's what Ernest was like. I can't deal with this. Someone else deal with it.
Because it's constantly making me uncomfortable. Pretty much what happened. Insert chaos. And it's the chaos that he can't tolerate. He's like, wait, this is too chaotic. Even for me. I already have to deal with someone that is on the verge of wanting to destroy everything, or a piece of him at least. And when there's this other person that's connected to her as well. And she's not in here! As an Angelus.
Because she can't be there.
And that's why he's like, I can't deal with this. Well, is she here? Yeah, I'm here, you can have this.
I mean, Evelyn was never supposed to be Angelus champion to begin with.
He was supposed to be only in Therians. It's just the champion thing was accidental.
Yeah, because wasn't it because they did stuff at the wrong time or something?
Or something triggered it. When she made him a champion because of some of a certain at a certain point, because of a certain event related to because remember, she was in a weakened state and she has needed something connect to, and that's what caused that connection unintentionally when her weakened state, if you remember. She was crumbling.
Yeah, she wasn't in her right mind.
No, she was also crumbling. So
well, yeah, that's what would have caused her to not be in her right mind, is because she's breaking apart.
And she, she also needed to attack something, or she would have crumbled more. Because remember, she didn't have a hero or champion at the moment, and she had no way to actually. She originally didn't actually have a hero. She found one, which would be Hayes. But it's fine, because like I said, but it's not unheard of to have a secondary individual though. But it's just some reason certain the only ones that usually have a backup in sub individuals for things are usually protectors and founders when something happens to the primary champion.
When champions go crazy, not from divine issues, but from mortal problems.
Caused by a divine problem. It's not a mortal problem, it's caused by a divine problem. It was a divine problem. Not a mortal one, it was actually a divine one.
but none of my characters are at fault. They're kind of just there.
Yeah, just being there as a something that could have just stopped it. Physically being there, doing nothing, because actually considered you being at fault means you could have done something.
I mean, they weren't really doing nothing. They were doing their own things.
Well, I know, but the ones that were sitting around doing jack shit could have done something, and that weren't having problems. Anyways.
Yeah. Certain Ball wasn't having that many problems. They could have fixed it.
No, they were having issues at the time as well, because remember the tumor. So that doesn't matter either. Because that issue was an outside source related into the reality plane that something that H3 was sick with something that could have been removed.